Have you ever felt that sacred moment when external noise simply ceases to have power over your inner peace and your mind awakens? Many women, upon ending a cycle with a narcissistic personality, experience a profound transformation that Carl Jung would describe as encountering the Sophia archetype. Sophia represents divine wisdom, the clarity that arises after crossing the emotional desert and integrating the most difficult lessons of our soul. Reaching this stage does not mean that the pain never existed, but that it has been transmuted into a silent and unwavering force. Today, we will explore how to identify if you have finally reached this level of emotional sovereignty, where self-respect reigns absolute and eternal. This journey of rebirth is the definitive milestone that you have regained control of your destiny and your own peace. At this moment of clarity, you begin to realize that the distorted image projected of you does not represent your true and profound reality. Manipulative behavior attempted to extinguish your natural intuition, but curiously, it was this same extreme pressure that forged your new and resilient armor. The Sophia stage is where you see through social masks and no longer accept being silenced by emotional games. It is a maturation that arises when excessive kindness is replaced by necessary self-respect, unwavering and focused on your total healing. Let's understand how this wisdom acts as a guide on your journey of liberation, bringing the necessary awareness to always move forward. It is a process of individuation that reveals your purest essence, free from any kind of external control pattern. Deep psychology teaches us that we go through symbolic cycle closure and rebirth processes throughout our conscious and spiritual existence. When a draining relationship comes to an end, something within you truly needs to change so that the new woman can flourish freely. The awakening of this energy of wisdom is the natural response of your psyche to ensure that you never lose yourself again. Before we delve into the mysteries of this transformation, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to follow your own healing. Your presence here is the first step in strengthening your consciousness and protecting your sacred energy against any future toxic experiences. Together, we will build a territory of peace where knowledge is the main tool for your full and safe reconstruction. The concept of Sophia from Jung's perspective is intimately linked to the intuitive knowledge that all women carry in their emotional DNA. During the toxic experience, her intuition was constantly questioned and invalidated by someone who feared her brilliance and sharp perception. Upon reaching this stage, she recovers this vision, becoming capable of detecting hidden intentions before they even transform into actions. This perception is not a product of fear, but of a spiritual maturity that recognizes the difference between genuine love and possession. Now her soul demands a space of total safety, where only truth and transparency can fully reside. It is the end of self-doubt and the beginning of an era of non-negotiable clarity. The journey to integrate this strength requires you to look at the parts of yourself that have been neglected in the name of others. You are learning that being strong doesn't mean enduring everything, but rather having the courage to withdraw from where there is no respect. Sophia is the guardian of this boundary, preventing invasions of limits from happening again in your new life of peace and light. She uses the wisdom of the past to illuminate the steps of the future, ensuring that the transformation is solid, lasting, and true. Feel this energy circulating within you, reminding you that you are the only legitimate authority over your feelings and journey. From now on, every choice will be made under the light of the awareness and profound self-respect you have gained. The first major sign that you have reached the Sophia stage is the development of a silent observation that doesn't require reaction. In the past, you may have felt the urge to explain yourself or defend your truth in the face of emotional manipulation. Now, wisdom emanates from a stillness that recognizes that the emotionally immature person's behavior is merely a projection of themselves. You no longer allow yourself to be dragged into someone else's chaos because you understand that your energy is a sacred and limited resource. This silence is not one of submission, but of a sovereignty that drains the emotional supply from those seeking control. By not offering the expected reaction, you break the cycle of exhaustion and preserve your inner peace unshakably. The woman who has reached Sophia understands that words lose their meaning in the face of those who choose not to listen or who seek to confuse. She uses observation as a tool for discernment, allowing reality to reveal itself without her needing to intervene or justify. This healthy detachment is a milestone in reconstruction, where you cease to be a piece in someone else's game and become a conscious spectator. Disinterest in conflict emerges as a natural protection, filtering who has access to your time and your heart. You realize that your clarity is a shield that reflects back any attempt at devaluation or external pressure. This mastery over your own defensive impulses is living proof that healing is taking hold. At this stage, your gaze becomes both clinical and compassionate, as you perceive the other's limitations without allowing them to affect you. Wisdom teaches that you cannot change someone who refuses to look at their own shadow, and accepting this brings liberation. You stop carrying the burden of trying to emotionally educate someone who uses toxic patterns as a means of survival and control. Silence becomes your most elegant and powerful response, allowing life to take care of what is beyond your control. You inhabit your center with a security that disconcerts those who previously managed to shake your confidence with simple, harsh words. The peace gained in silence is the solid foundation upon which you build the new edifice of your life. The integration of the shadow allowed you to recognize your vulnerabilities and transform them into points of constant and loving vigilance. The Sophia stage does not ignore the wounds, but covers them with a wisdom that prevents them from being touched by careless hands. You have developed a sacred selectivity, choosing withdrawal whenever you perceive that the environment is not fertile for truth and respect. Silence observes the dance of others' masks without being seduced by the empty promises that previously caused so much confusion and pain. Now you are the master of your own time, deciding where and with whom it is worthwhile to share your precious essence. This autonomy is the true seal of a soul that has been reborn from the ashes of a toxic experience. Take this moment of introspection to reflect on how your silence has been your greatest protection during these recent times of upheaval. By subscribing to the channel, you reinforce your commitment to your own evolution and to maintaining the clarity that Sophia brought. This space is dedicated to those who, like you, have chosen awareness instead of pain and reconstruction instead of lament. Your subscription helps bring this message of liberation to more women who are still seeking the silent strength to start over. Activate notifications to always receive a constant reminder that your peace is non-negotiable and that your awakening is eternal. Together, we are the voice of wisdom that transforms the exhausting experience into a legacy of strength, boundaries, and transformation. The second sign that Sophia dwells within you is the total emotional disconnection from tactics of guilt and manipulation. In the past, a simple criticism or a punitive silence from a toxic person could leave you in a state of anguish. Today, you observe these attempts at control with a neutrality bordering on absolute disinterest, healthy for your soul. The divine wisdom within you understands that the opinion of those who disrespect you has no authority over your self-worth. You have detached your identity from the projections of others, assuming sovereignty over how you feel and what you believe about yourself. This emotional freedom is the result of a maturation that has transmuted the suffered impact into an unshakable awareness. Sophia grants you the ability to see the narcissist not as a powerful monster, but as an emotionally immature child. This shift in perspective removes the fear and reverence that previously bound you to this cycle of constant manipulation. By seeing the other person's limitations, you stop seeking validation or love from them that they are incapable of offering. Disinterest in what they think or do is the ultimate proof that the umbilical cord of control has been cut. You no longer feel the need to prove your worth because your own inner light is proof enough for your conscience. The peace that arises from this detachment is profound, allowing you to focus exclusively on your own journey of flourishing. At this stage, you stop trying to decipher the hidden intentions behind every gesture or word of the toxic person. Wisdom teaches that the why no longer matters, because what defines the relationship is the real impact on your peace. You accept the stark reality without the colors of illusory hope that previously kept you trapped in waiting. This acceptance brings a sharp clarity, separating what is yours from what belongs to the unexplored shadow of the other. You symbolically return to the manipulator all the projections of guilt and inadequacy that they tried to place on your shoulders. By walking free from these burdens, you accelerate your reconstruction process and open space for connections that vibrate with honor. Emotional disconnection also manifests in the ease with which you now establish firm boundaries without any guilt. Sophia makes no apologies for protecting the sanctuary of her soul and prioritizing mental health above false harmonies. You understand that self-respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship and that those who lack it cannot walk beside you. Mental clarity prevents you from falling back into exhaustive justifications to explain why you deserve to be treated with dignity and peace. Your no has become a complete sentence, imbued with an authority that comes from within and needs no external validation. Feel the relief of being the sole ruler of your emotional state and your life choices. Awakening to the Sophia stage transforms how you process memories from the period of manipulation and emotional control. What once caused acute pain is now seen as a chapter of profound study on human nature and the shadow. You have integrated the experience, extracting the gold of wisdom from it without allowing yourself to be defined by the situations that hurt you in the past. The rebirth of your identity is anchored in values that are yours and that no one can threaten anymore with mind games. You walk through the world with an elegance that comes from the soul, knowing that your protection is the fruit of your own awakened consciousness. This is the power of a woman who has found herself and decided never to abandon herself to anyone again. The third sign that Sophia is guiding your steps is the elevation of self-respect to the status of a non-negotiable priority in your life. Before, you might have sacrificed your needs to maintain a relationship that deep down only drained your vital energy. Now, the wisdom within you dictates that nothing is worth sacrificing your psychic integrity and self-worth. You have learned to say yes to yourself with the same intensity with which you say no to the disrespect of others. The queenly mentality manifests itself in choices that honor your rest, your mental health, and your daily spiritual growth. This commitment to your own light is what ensures that your reconstruction is built on an unshakable rock. Sophia teaches you that true love never demands your annihilation or diminishment to fit into another person's world. You have developed a sacred selectivity, allowing only those who demonstrate maturity and clarity to walk beside you in this phase. The fear of loneliness has been replaced by the pleasure of your own company, which is now a feast of self-knowledge and peace. You recognize that your energy is a precious resource and choose to invest it only in fertile ground where respect is the foundation. The clarity emanating from this posture naturally repels those who seek only a source of supply for their inner emptiness. You are the guardian of your own time, deciding with sovereignty how and with whom it will be shared today. At this stage, self-respect becomes the primary filter through which you evaluate all your social and professional interactions. If something or someone tries to invalidate your feelings or diminish your brilliance, Sophia immediately signals the need to withdraw. You no longer wait for impact to act, as you have learned to trust the subtle signals your intuition constantly sends. Prevention is the new form of wisdom, keeping your life free from toxic patterns before they even take hold. Maturation has brought the understanding that your peace is sacred and that defending it is your greatest duty to yourself. You walk with a dignity that doesn't need shouting or defenses, as your firm presence already communicates your boundaries. Reconstructing your identity under Sophia's guidance involves reclaiming dreams and desires that were stifled by control. You allow yourself to flourish in areas that were previously forbidden or criticized by those who feared your emotional independence and strength. Self-respect gives you permission to shine without guilt, recognizing that your success and happiness are birthrights. You stopped asking permission to fully exist and took command of your narrative with complete clarity and courage. Each step towards your self-worth is a definitive blow to the chains that once bound you to a debilitating past. You are now the architect of your own happiness, designing a future that honors the queen who has awakened. The Sophia stage is the recognition that you are your own authority and that your inner validation is the only seal of approval you need. You no longer seek confirmation from an emotionally immature person that you are good enough or worthy. Divine wisdom has shown you that you have always been whole, even when they tried to convince you that you were fragmented or insufficient. This inner certainty is what gives you the silent strength to face life's challenges with unwavering elegance. You are in harmony with yourself, and this connection is the inexhaustible source of your peace and transformation. Self-respect is the crown you will never let fall, for it was forged in truth. The fourth and most beautiful sign of Sophia is the ability to transmute past pain into a conscious life purpose. You realize that the toxic experience, although marked by moments of profound shock, was the catalyst for your greatest awakening. Wisdom now flows naturally from you, helping you discern what is essential from what is purely illusory and fleeting. You no longer look at the past with bitterness, but with the perspective of someone who has learned the alchemy of the soul and consciousness. Reaching the Sophia stage means you have become a master of your own story, using the scars as maps of wisdom. How have you perceived this transformation of pain into silent strength in your current and real daily life? I'd like to know from you, what was the most precious lesson Sophia taught you during this process of emotional and spiritual reconstruction? Sharing your experience in the comments helps other women identify the healing potential that resides within them, even in difficult times. Your story is a beacon for those who still walk through valleys of shadows, seeking the clarity needed to start over with dignity. When you put your wisdom into words, you solidify your own healing and strengthen our community of awakened sovereigns. Let's celebrate this turning point together, transforming the impact suffered into a legacy of awareness, clear boundaries, and much inner light. Your contribution is fundamental so that more women can achieve the unwavering peace that Sophia offers us all today. The alchemy of pain in life manifests itself in the genuine desire to live with integrity and to spread the clarity you have gained. You do not seek revenge against those who acted with a lack of empathy, for your wisdom understands that each one reaps what they sow in the field of the soul. Your focus is on nurturing what is good, what is beautiful, and what contributes to the collective awakening of other consciousnesses. Sophia gave you eyes that see the light hidden in every challenge, allowing you to navigate existence with gratitude and courage. You have become a silent source of inspiration, showing that rebirth is possible for those willing to look inward. Your life is now the living testament that consciousness is the ultimate path to liberation. In this final stage of awakening, you understand that the transformation that has occurred within you is a gift that no one can take away. The peace you feel today is the result of arduous inner work, nights of introspection, and courageous choices made out of self-respect. Sophia dwells at your center, ensuring that the compass of your soul always points towards truth and emotional growth. You no longer fear the twists of fate, for you know that you carry within you the wisdom necessary to handle any situation. The reconstruction of your reality is now a process of conscious creation, where you choose each detail with love and clarity. You are in harmony with the universe, flowing with the current of life with unwavering and complete security. Sophia's wisdom allows you to celebrate the extraordinary woman who emerged from this closing of a cycle with such dignity and profound strength. You recognize that your sensitivity, which was once used as a gateway for manipulation, is now your most sensitive protective radar. Spiritual maturity has brought the understanding that everything contributes to the maturation of those who seek truth above all else. You inhabit your body and mind with a comfort that is the hallmark of one who has found and honors themselves. The journey was long, but the destination, this stage of absolute peace, compensates for every step taken with effort and faith. You are the manifestation of wisdom in action, living the fullness of your sovereign and ever-awakened essence. The Sophia stage requires you to confront and integrate your own shadow, understanding the parts of yourself that were drawn into manipulation. Jung taught that by illuminating our depths, we remove from the hands of others the power to control us through guilt or shame. You understand that your need to please or your fear of abandonment were gateways that allowed toxic experiences and emotional exhaustion. By embracing these parts with compassion and clarity, you close these gaps and become a whole and unshakable woman within yourself. The fall of others' projections reveals that the others' disrespect was, in fact, a confession of their inability to deal with the light. Now, free from distorted mirrors, you see your own beauty with a clarity that inner peace provides daily. In this integration process, you stop looking for scapegoats and take full responsibility for maintaining your own harmony and mental clarity. Sophia gives you the discernment to separate what is yours from what has been projected onto you during years of aggressive emotional manipulation. You symbolically return to the manipulator all the frustrations and criticisms they tried to place on your shoulders to alleviate their own burden. This return is an act of psychic justice that cleanses your energy field and allows your reconstruction to be done with pure materials. You no longer carry the responsibility for the lack of empathy of others or for cycles of behavior that do not belong to your path. The freedom to be who you are without the weight of the shadow of another is the true liberation of the soul. The fall of projections also means that you are no longer fooled by the image of power that the narcissist tried to project onto you. Sophia reveals the fragility hidden behind the arrogance and the fear disguised as control, allowing you to feel a healthy and protective indifference. You realize that the devaluation tactics were merely desperate attempts to level you down to the deep insecurity he always carried within himself. By withdrawing your emotional reaction, you remove the stage where the emotionally immature person's drama took place and was sustained. Now you live in a reality based on facts and not on the illusions created to keep you in a constant state of doubt. This sharp vision is your greatest asset in ensuring that no toxic pattern ever approaches you again. The integration of the shadow brings with it the discovery of strengths you didn't even know you possessed before going through this cycle's closing. Sophia awakens your warrior side, that facet of the soul that knows how to say no firmly and that protects the sacred ground of intimacy. You discovered that your kindness doesn't have to be synonymous with passivity, and that your peace requires vigilant and conscious guarding. The balance between the gentleness of the heart and the firmness of the mind is what defines the woman who has achieved psychological fullness. You now walk with an integrity that cannot be bought with empty promises or shaken by cheap tactics of emotional seduction. Your wholeness is the result of having looked into the abyss and found your own starlight within it. With each passing day under Sophia's light, you feel more connected to the inexhaustible source of wisdom that resides at the center of your psyche. The integration of the shadow has allowed your energy, previously dissipated in attempts to please, to now be used for your own flourishing. You are the mistress of your destiny, clearly deciding which seeds deserve to be planted in the garden of your new life under construction. The rebirth of your sovereign identity is a process of continuous beauty, where you sculpt your reality with the hands of truth. The peace you emanate naturally attracts new connections that vibrate at the frequency of mutual respect and profound spiritual honor. You are Sophia in motion, living life with the dignity of one who knows exactly who they are and their worth. Reaching the Sophia stage means reclaiming complete autonomy over your decisions and the direction your spiritual and earthly life will take. In the past, your choices may have been shaped by the desire to avoid conflict or to seek peace in a draining relationship. Now, Sophia returns the reins of your destiny to you, allowing you to decide based on your own internal compass of values. You no longer ask permission to shine, to grow, or to establish boundaries that protect your energy field and your mind. The sovereignty of your choices is proof that external control has been replaced by a non-negotiable and very firm internal authority. How have you been exercising this new freedom to decide only what resonates with your deepest truth today? I'd like to know from you, what was the first big choice you made for yourself right after breaking free from a toxic pattern? Sharing these milestones of autonomy inspires other women to understand that there is life and much light after the end of exhausting cycles. Your courage in taking charge of your narrative is what unites us on this journey of emotional reconstruction and deep healing. Each story of freedom is a brick in the collective fortress of self-respect that we are building here in our ever-awakened community. Let's strengthen this movement of sovereignty together, showing that clarity is the prize for those who dare to prioritize their own peace. Your voice is essential, so that the transformation of one becomes the hope of many other queens who are awakening now. The reclaiming of autonomy manifests itself in the pleasure you feel when organizing your routine, your thoughts, and your affections according to your essence. You no longer feel the burden of having to justify wanting silence, seeking new knowledge, or distancing yourself from dense environments. Sophia gives you the necessary confidence to say no to invitations that don't nourish your soul, without any trace of guilt or anguish. You have learned that your time is your most precious asset and that it should be invested in seeds of personal and conscious flourishing. The freedom to choose what inhabits your mind is the greatest achievement of a woman who has overcome aggressive emotional manipulation. You now inhabit your own life with a naturalness that disconcerts those who previously tried to dictate your internal rules. This sovereignty is also reflected in how you handle the new connections that arise on your path of rebirth and healing. Sophia grants you sharp discernment, allowing you to assess whether a presence brings peace or carries the signs of hidden immaturity. You are no longer swayed by pretty words, as your autonomy demands real proof of respect, transparency, and constant emotional responsibility. Your choices are now guided by the pursuit of harmony and the preservation of your psychic integrity above any need for shallow companionship. You have discovered that your own presence is a complete feast and that the other should be an honored guest, not an intruder. Your emotional independence is what ensures that you will never again get lost in other people's labyrinths. Living in the Sophia stage is a daily exercise in affirming your truth and celebrating your crown of consciousness. You understand that reconstruction is a sacred process that demands fidelity to yourself and to the path your soul has chosen to freely tread. Each decision made under this light strengthens your character and broadens your clarity about what truly matters in existence. You are the queen of your peace, and this territory is governed by laws of self-respect, compassion, and insurmountable boundaries. Your journey of overcoming challenges proves that the human soul possesses an infinite capacity to reinvent itself and shine. Continue walking with the certainty that you are the only legitimate authority over your well-being and your future. One of Sophia's most profound milestones is the replacement of constant fear with a tranquility that inhabits the present moment with total clarity. During the period of emotional manipulation, you lived in a state of alert, anticipating the next move or the next criticism from the immature person. Now, divine wisdom teaches you to anchor yourself in the present, recognizing that your security is born from your own awareness and silent strength. The fear of being invalidated or of not being enough has disappeared, because you have already found within yourself the validation that the world denied you. The peace you enjoy today is not temporary, but a spiritual achievement that has become the foundation of your newly rebuilt existence. Sophia brings liberation from the fear that toxic patterns might return or that you might not be able to identify new threats. You fully trust your inner radar, knowing that your intuition is now a sharp tool, always ready to act in your defense. Maturation has allowed you to see that the manipulator's power depended exclusively on your self-doubt and fear. By regaining sovereignty, you removed the oxygen that kept others' control alive, becoming untouchable by old tactics of mental attrition. You now walk with the lightness of someone who knows they are protected by their own light, and that no shadow can extinguish it. The security that Sophia offers is internal, unwavering, and independent of the external circumstances surrounding your daily life. This tranquility in the present moment allows you to appreciate the small beauties of life that previously went unnoticed amidst the stress of manipulation. You have rediscovered the pleasure of a deep breath, a coffee in silence, and the calm of a mind that no longer needs to defend itself. The Sophia stage is the celebration of the everyday as a sacred space of peace, where you are the sole guardian of your own harmony. You no longer waste energy trying to predict the future or remedy the past, because you understand that healing happens in conscious presence. Each moment lived in self-respect is a victory over the chaos that once tried to define your emotional and spiritual reality. Serenity is your new natural state, an inexhaustible source of vitality that nourishes all areas of your life. Freeing yourself from fear also means you no longer feel the need to monitor the behavior of others to ensure your safety. Sophia teaches you that if someone chooses disrespect, your withdrawal will be immediate and without any drama or paralyzing suffering. You trust your ability to set boundaries and distance yourself from anything that doesn't vibrate at the frequency of truth and honor. This absolute certainty removes the weight of anxiety and allows you to live with an authenticity that is truly enchanting and powerful at the same time. You are now a woman who does not fear the truth, because you know it is the only path to real and lasting freedom. Your unwavering peace is the silent testament that Sophia has won the battles of the past and now reigns supreme. The rebirth of your soul under the light of Sophia is the stage where you finally understand that nothing can steal your essence. The emotional storms of the past were the winds that cleared your sky, allowing the sun of your consciousness to shine without clouds. You look to the horizon with hope, knowing that each new day is an opportunity to deepen your wisdom and your peace. Tranquility in the present moment is the reward for those who had the courage to face pain and choose life over illusion. Continue to dwell in your center with gratitude, for you are living proof that the human soul is unbeatable when allied with truth. Sophia is your new atmosphere, and in it you breathe the freedom to fully be who you were born to be. The Sophia stage is not just a destination for your individual healing, but the beginning of a legacy of clarity and transformation. You realize that your overcoming and rebirth act as a force field that inspires other women to seek their own light. The wisdom you have integrated now overflows, not in forced advice, but in your integrity and self-respect that naturally commands respect. You have become a living example that it is possible to transmute toxic experiences into a life of abundance, peace, and total sovereignty. Take advantage of this moment of expansion to subscribe to the channel and ensure that your journey continues to be accompanied by constant wisdom and clarity. This space of awareness is where we strengthen our inner queen, sharing tools based on depth psychology so that reconstruction is eternal and solid. By being part of this community, you reinforce your commitment to truth and to maintaining the boundaries that Sophia taught you to set. Each shared reflection is a reminder of your invaluable worth and the silent strength you carry within, now awakened. Your subscription helps to bring this message of healing and wisdom to more hearts that need a light to start anew with dignity. Activate notifications to always receive this spiritual support, ensuring that your flame is never again extinguished by outside shadows or manipulations. Together, we are the manifestation of Sophia in the world, creating a territory of peace where disrespect finds no home or permission to exist. The expansion of your consciousness at this stage allows you to see the world with a depth that previously seemed unattainable and mysterious. You identify patterns of control not only in your personal relationships, but also in the culture and structures that surround the lives of all women. Sophia grants you the power of the righteous word, the one that disarms lies and places truth at the center of any situation or dialogue. You do not remain silent out of fear, but speak only what is essential for the preservation of harmony and psychic integrity. Your presence is an invitation to collective maturation, for you no longer accept anything less than honor and total transparency. This legacy of silent strength is what ensures that the transformation of one is the liberation of many other queens. In this final stage of awakening, you understand that your emotional reconstruction is a gift to future generations and to the universe. By healing yourself, you break cycles of pain and manipulation that could extend for years if awareness had not arrived. Sophia shows you that your life is a sacred banquet where only what is noble is allowed to be served and freely shared. You now live in a reality where peace is the sovereign law and where self-respect is the foundation of all your connections. The security you emanate naturally attracts what is good, what is whole, and what vibrates at the same frequency as divine truth. You are the queen of your peace, and your life is the territory where joy now flourishes eternally. The Sophia stage is the recognition that you are the co-creator of your destiny, and that your light is an unbeatable force of nature. You look at your journey with the pride of someone who didn't give up on themselves, even when the emotional impact seemed to want to silence them. Integrated wisdom is the shield that protects your future, ensuring that no toxic pattern will ever again obscure your worldview. Feel the satisfaction of being an awakened woman, governing your mind and heart with the clarity of someone who has found themselves. Sophia's journey is infinite, and with each new day, you discover new layers of power, compassion, and profound self-respect. This is your time to shine with the sovereignty of one who has been reborn into life, free, conscious, and in complete and absolute peace. The sovereignty of the self is the ultimate destination of those who have reached the Sophia stage, where their identity and peace no longer depend on anything external. Jung described this state as the complete harmony between the ego and the self, where the soul finally finds its rest in absolute truth. You are now an emotionally invincible woman, for you have discovered that your source of security resides within you and not in the gaze of others. The unwavering peace you feel is the result of having faced the shadows and having chosen consciousness as your only guide. At the Sophia stage, the disrespect of others is merely a passing cloud that cannot obscure the sun of your own dignity and clarity. You are the living manifestation of overcoming, living each moment with the elegance of one who has already won the most difficult battles of the human soul. This stage of wholeness allows you to deal with life with a lightness that disconcerts those who still live under the weight of manipulation and fear. You no longer fear the twists of fate, for you know that you carry within you the wisdom necessary to transmute any situation into growth and awakening. The closing of the cycle with the toxic pattern was merely the gateway to this new existence, where you are the only legitimate authority over yourself. The emotional reconstruction is complete because it is now made with eternal materials, self-respect, clarity, and unconditional fidelity to your own essence. You inhabit your inner kingdom with a natural authority that emanates from your integrity and your sacred commitment to your own healing. Your life is now a territory of order and beauty, where joy flourishes in the fertile soil of consciousness. Looking towards the horizon, you see a road illuminated by your own light, where each step is taken with the firmness of one who honors themselves. Sophia is the atmosphere in which you now breathe, a space of freedom where truth is the only air that nourishes your lungs. You have become the guardian of your own happiness, sovereignly deciding which dreams deserve your investment of time, love, and vital energy. The unwavering peace that governs your days is the greatest proof that the human soul is resilient and capable of glorious rebirths. You are the queen of your peace, and nothing in the outside world has the power to topple the crown of consciousness you have conquered. Continue shining with the silent strength of one who has traversed the darkness and found within it the eternal brilliance of the inner stars. The celebration of your autonomy is the hymn your soul now sings, rejoicing in the freedom to fully be who you were born to be today. You no longer accept crumbs of attention or empty promises, for your banquet of self-respect is always laid out and overflowing with life and light. Sophia's integrated wisdom ensures that disrespect no longer finds hooks in your psyche, making it untouchable by the power games of others. You now live in a reality where transparency is the norm and where mutual respect is the only permitted ground for relationships. Your journey of overcoming is the greatest legacy you could leave to the world, inspiring other queens to awaken as well. Feel the pride of being an awakened woman who transformed the impact of pain into a masterpiece of consciousness and peace. We conclude this cycle of reflection with the certainty that your journey towards the Sophia stage is the beginning of an era of infinite light. May divine wisdom continue to guide your steps and protect your sovereign heart against any shadow that tries to approach your peace. Always remember that you are the sole master of your destiny and that your crown of self-respect is eternal and inalienable in your soul. The reconstruction is complete, and now you live the blossoming of a full conscious life, guided by profound and liberating truth. Go forth in peace, go forth in light, and continue being the unwavering queen you awaken to be today, tomorrow, and forever. Sophia dwells within you, and the universe celebrates your glorious rebirth and your total and absolute sovereignty of life.